Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan today flown into Istanbul after an army group said it took over the country. He was seen surrounded by cheering supporters. Addressing the crowd at the airport, Erdoğan said that those responsible for the coup will pay and it is a reason to clean up army. He said that the ringleader who plotted all of this will pay the price in front of the nation, adding that over 120 people have been arrested over the coup attempt. He also said that the minority in country's military forces targeted integrity and unity of Turkey. Meanwhile, amidst the reports that Turkey's top general has been held hostage at military headquarters, Erdoğan said he doesn't know whereabouts of Turkish army chief. Earlier, the army group declared that a peace council now ran the country and there was a curfew and martial law. But Prime Minister Binali Yildirim later said the situation was largely under control and a no-fly zone was declared over the capital Ankara. A national curfew was also announced and other security forces were called in to do what is necessary.
I see that in the West, at least, seems like it's about time. One U.S. Congressman, Sherman, his name, tweeted little support for the Turkish president himself. That is, again, the
reacting to the situation there so far. What do we know about that?
In the wake of the situation in Turkey, the External Affairs Ministry said that the Indian embassy in Ankara has advised Indian nationals in Turkey to avoid public places and remain indoors until the situation there becomes clearer. Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Vikas Swarup in a tweet also listed emergency contact numbers for Indian nationals. And the numbers are in Ankara, +90 530 314 2203. In Istanbul, the number is +90 530 567 1095. Our correspondent Amritpal Singh joins us for more on phone line. Amrit, the situation in Turkey, apparently President says that the situation is coming under control. But then there are counter claims as well by the army coup, the group of army as well. Well, how are you looking at the situation now at this moment?
Venkat, chaos still prevails on the streets of Ankara and Istanbul. What is happening right now is that there are soldiers out in the streets. There was exchange of fire between the police and the army. People have come out in large numbers, be it in Istanbul or in Ankara. The Taksim Square is completely full after President Erdoğan gave a call to people to come out. They stopped stoned army tanks which the army had rolled out. The reports emerging from there suggest that the coup is crumbling now. And slowly the civilian government is retaining, is kind of getting back in charge. President Erdoğan is back in Istanbul. He was on a Turkish coast resort of Marmaris, from where he has come back. There was a visual of him at the Kemal Atatürk airport. For some time, the army soldiers had taken over state-run television, the DRT, and also CNN Turk, which said that it was going off air because the army soldiers had invaded it. At one particular time, they had also surrounded the parliament, where outside the parliament building, they are still there. There was gunfire heard there. The Bosphorus bridge, the bridge over the Bosphorus was shut down. So what is right now happening is that there is chaos. There are people out on squares, both in Ankara and in Istanbul. There are soldiers out. But looks like for the moment that the coup is crumbling. But right now the situation isn't back to normal.
Well, Amrit, now if we look at the situation now for quite a time, the government in Turkey, the people-elected government in Turkey had some sort of strange relationship with certain section of the people in army and also in the police and also in judiciary as well, who have been the sympathizers of Fethullah Gulen, the former cleric. Now, do you think that apparently could be the situation, because even President Erdoğan as well has been mentioning about the Gulen as well, and then the sympathizers there, that they could be behind this coup?
That's what reports emanating that President Erdoğan has suggested that Fethullah Gulen, who lives in Pennsylvania, could be behind this. We have seen this happen earlier as well when it was put down by President Erdoğan, an attempted coup or a demonstration when there was a raid in Istanbul and a lot of arms and ammunition were seized. Then they were journalists.
Well, Amrit, we'll be coming back to you again. We'll be coming back to you again on for the further updates. But let's now listen to what Erdoğan had said while addressing his supporters after coming back to Istanbul. Anyway, we'll be bringing back what Erdoğan had said after he'd flown into Istanbul and then he came back to Atatürk and then addressed media people. We'll be bringing you those visuals as well. But before that, security expert Alok Bansal joins us on phone line. Mr. Bansal, well, we are seeing at a situation in the Middle East, which the first straight question is, what impact can it be having in that specific area, Middle East, where apparently at this moment the situation is pretty much grim with the fights from the Islamic State, and then there was fights from the Turkish Kurdish separatists as well. In such a situation, what impact will this development create there?
See, as of now, the reports coming from Istanbul and Ankara are very unclear as to who is in control.
Yes.
There seems to be jostling for power. But we must understand that the current government in Ankara had been moving away from the path shown by Kemal Atatürk.
Yes.
And as a result, there has been a sense of disquiet amongst the army because they felt that the authoritarian secularism which Atatürk and his followers had been adhering to, this particular party, which is actually Islamist in nature, has been taking the country away from that path. And as a result, there has been certain disquiet. And Turkey, as you know, in the recent past has been embroiled in a lot of problems. You have had the Kurdish crackdown where people living in Kurdish area, the army has been cracking down, the government has been cracking down. There have been attacks by Islamic State. And now, of course, this sort of a confusion. So this shows that the future of Turkey, at least in the near future, seems to be a little uncertain. And considering a country like Turkey, which depends to a very great extent on tourism for its revenues, this is going to be a huge setback.
Right. Right, Mr. Bansal, please stay online. We'll be coming back to you. But before that, let us listen into what Erdoğan has to say after when he was addressing media people after he had come back to Istanbul. Let's listen to what he said.
Today, this afternoon, there's been some action, and unfortunately, this happened within our armed forces, and a result of that showed that a minority group within the armed forces had targeted the unity and integrity of our country. And this group, as I said a long time ago, was none other than the parallel state structure.
Well, that's what President Erdoğan had to say there after coming to Istanbul. He speaks to media after landing in the Istanbul. Then he also said that the coup attempt will be the most important thing he said will be the reason to clean up the army as well. And then in fact, the coup plotters will have to pay prices, heavy prices too. And then he in fact was asked the people to come out and then defy what exactly the military is doing there. The group of military people are doing there on the streets. There were reports that there have been some sort of firing as well. And then the certain media reports also were stated that there was some sort of bombings near the parliament building. But then we are not sure whether the reports are pretty much the veracity of that, those facts which are coming in the media reports. But Erdoğan apparently blamed the supporters of the exiled cleric Fethullah Gülen for this coup attempt. In fact, he also said that this could be the situation where military needs to be cleansed from these elements who attempted the coup. He also said that the arrest of officers is underway. He apparently said the situation is under control. But at the same time, we have the coup, the group which apparently attempted this coup, also claiming that they have taken over the control in Turkey. So there are claims and counter claims as well. But we'll have to see how the situation will be developed. We'll be bringing those updates as well. But